Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Inside Golf. I'm Harry Donahue, and today we're back at Lulu Country Club. Wasn't that long that I was talking to Jon Rusk, who's the head professional here at Lulu. And Jon, we all know, shortly after our visit, well, the background tells the story. Ashes here at Lulu after a devastating fire on a Sunday morning. You actually called 911.
I
right?
did, yes, sir.
It was a tough job, no doubt.
It was a haymaker, but we're standing back up. We didn't go down, and we're ready for the fight. Keep rocking and rolling, so we're good.
We'll talk to Jon throughout the show today about the plans to rebuild, but also how Lulu continues to provide some great golf for its members and guests. That's next on Inside Golf. Inside Golf, presented by PGN Plus. Play your golf bucket list. By Jersey Man Magazine. It's a Jersey way of life. And Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. And by the Philadelphia Section PGA. Experts in the game and business of golf.
Got a young golfer in the family? Whether their dream is to grab a national ranking or just have more fun on the golf course, sign them up for the Philly PGA Junior Tour this summer. It's competitive play on premier courses for boys and girls 18 and younger throughout Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. Perfect for gearing up for the next high school or collegiate golf season. Available to both new and competitive golfers. Registration now open year-round. Help your young golfers find or improve their game. Sign them up today at phillyjuniortour.com.
The focus. The feel, the friends. Golf isn't just a game, it's an experience, and PGN Plus invites you to experience golf like never before. PGN Plus provides golfers with access to the area's exclusive private courses, and for existing country club members, PGN Plus enhances your membership with intra-club reciprocal play. Select your course, book your tee time, and play the best private clubs the area has to offer. Create your free account today. Visit pgnplus.com, your invitation to private golf.
Welcome back to Inside Golf. We're here at Lulu Country Club with Jon Rusk, the head professional. And we talked, Jon, a little bit in the opening about what happened here, as people I'm sure are well aware of on that Sunday morning back in September, just a couple weeks after Inside Golf visited you and heard your plans to get Lulu up and going again. And now you have to kind of reload a little bit. But golfers, it continues here, right?
The golf continues. First of all, I want to thank all the fire people, fire marshal, fire companies, the policemen and women. I also want to thank the Golf Association in Philadelphia for the support that they gave us and all the member clubs. They reached out to us. They came to the property that day. General managers, presidents of clubs, golf professionals, they all came out and tried to offer their support to see what they could help us out with.
Well, that's the golf community here in Philadelphia, and when somebody else is down there, they help pick them up.
Yes, they are. Yep.
And also, you were talking about how you were getting phone calls for people who wanted to come and join Lulu. After the devastating fire.
We've had a lot of new members over the last couple weeks here, so that's exciting. We had two of the best players in Philadelphia join, Chris Salt and Glenn Smoriale, so we're excited about that. We're also excited about the other people that have joined, so it's going to be a great year.
We'll talk about the golf course and how, of course, it was unscathed, untouched by the fire. The clubhouse, of course, sustaining major damage, and already, well, I guess the question is, how long did it take for you guys all of a sudden to say, okay, it's onward now?
It took a couple hours. We made some phone calls and we started calling around to see what we need to do to get ready for next year. The members have all been very supportive, so we want to thank them. They've offered their services. All the members do certain things, so we're excited about the future, and we have good plans going forward.
I was going to say it's probably impossible right now to set a timeline when the new clubhouse will be here, but that's the plan, right?
That is. It'll be a state-of-the-art clubhouse. We don't have a timeline yet, but we're working with contractors. We're working with major consultant companies in the country, so we're excited. Well,
of course, we know the golf course is in good hands with Matt Stout, and we'll revisit an interview we did with Matt back in September. But, how many days was actually the golf course down before guys were out here playing?
We kept the golf course closed for a week. The golf course is in great shape. We could have opened the next day, but fire company was busy doing other things. So we let it rest for a week. We've reseeded the golf course, and the golf course is beautiful right now. So the product's here, and we're ready to go.
That's a great fall.
It is a beautiful fall.
Yeah. Well, we know your plans what they were to restore Lulu Country Club. Now it's like a crossroads, you know, and it's one of the challenges that people face in life in any business. But in golf, of course, you know, you had big plans, and now you have to kind of shuffle the deck a little bit and come up with even better plans.
We have bigger and better plans now. It's going to be a long road, but we're ready for the fight, and we can do it. So.
Well, you have a great staff.
We do.
You have great leadership. I mean, you know, you have
We have great
staff
members. We have great members.
and great members and great support from the Philadelphia golf community.
That's all
so,
we need.
you know, when you look at the tragedy and the devastation, I mean, you're going to have a lot of helping hands here to help you get back on track.
We do. The help that people reaching out is, it warms your heart to see that happens. It really does.
Well, let me ask you, you know, you've had some things planned in terms of maybe outings or events or things like that. You're still getting back to those people to let them know what's going on?
The outings have reached out to us and said, hey, we're in. We're not leaving you. Upper Dublin Township's been great with that. They're keeping their outings here. All the other local charities are keeping their outings here, so that's a great thing for us.
Good luck to you, my friend.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, and Lulu will be back. And one of the main reasons is the golf course superintendent, Matt Stout. We had a chance to talk to him earlier about his plans here at Lulu. Matt Stout is the superintendent here at Lulu. Pretty much fresh on the job, Matt. Congratulations on coming here to Lulu. A little bit about your background. I mean, you went away for college. You grew up, though, in South Jersey, and you worked a lot in South Jersey.
I did. I worked at a lot of clubs down there, like Little Mill and Pine Hill, which is now owned by Trump.
Sure.
And I had the fortunate ability to work at Pine Valley as well.
That's pretty fortunate.
It is. So I got a lot of my experience down there. And after that, I moved up to Hopewell, which is near Princeton, private club, and was the head superintendent there for 10 years.
What's your top priority now on the job here at Lulu?
Top priority here right now is getting the golf course into good condition. The biggest challenge right now are the fairways need to be really done over as far as trying to establish bent grass. Right now there's a lot of poania, even crabgrass and things of that nature. So first up is getting the fairways back into good condition, getting some bent grass established, getting the tees back as well. A lot of compaction. You know, you can see that there hasn't been a lot of work done on conditioning the golf course over the years.
How long would that process take to, you know, thicken things up, get
Sure.
the bent grass, really the majority of the grasses on the fairways?
Well, it's funny, you know, with the conditions we have right now, with the sun and the warm temperatures and the cold nights, you're going to get a germination rate very high and very quickly within, you know, a few weeks. So by November, you're going to see a big change in your fairways and tees. You want to set yourself up for the spring so that when you come out of the springtime, you have a good stand of turf.
How about, okay, we talked about the fairways, and that's
Sure.
the top priority. What about the greens?
I'll tell you, what's nice about the greens here is they're very healthy and in great shape. So that's not something that we really have to focus a lot of our efforts on right now. Just simply doing the basics like lightly sanding, rolling, making sure that we're mowing at the right heights. So that's what's nice about this right now. We're not having to focus all of our attention on it.
This is, I guess, for want of a better term, a Parkland-style golf course. I don't know if it was when Donald Ross opened it or designed it back shortly after the turn of the century.
Yeah.
But you do have photographs, I guess, to give you an idea what it looked like then as opposed to what it looks like today.
You know, the old photographs, there were no trees at all. Not
So it was wide open.
It was wide open. So now you have a good stand of large, mature trees with good variety that just need cleaned up, pruned up. Some are going to be taken down, some of these oaks that have a disease, and a few that are blocking some sunlight to some of the greens. But other than that, we don't really have a major tree problem. You know, the place needs a lot of food. It needs to be fertilized properly, and I think once you start treating it the right way, the grasses that are here will respond in a good way.
Well, certainly you have the background and the training with your experience to get this place A1. All right?
Sure do.
Now, I know all the members would like to happen, you know, by tomorrow, and we know that's not possible. But it sounds like weather conditions in the fall, getting you a good jump start for the spring.
Absolutely, and you know, by next season, you're going to see a golf course that's night and day. It doesn't take as long as people think. It takes a lot of hard work and dedication, and that's what we'll do.
And the right people working on it, and it sounds like Matt Stout is the guy here at Lulu.
That's right.
Matt, thank you. Good
Thank
luck.
you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Right. All right, Kevin, you've nailed it. Like we said, right in the middle of the fairway here, about what, 275 off the tee, a little more?
You know, golf course superintendents
are the unsung heroes of our great game.
Thanks to the game's efforts,
we now have turf that needs less water
and is more sustainable
and offers natural wildlife habitats on our courses.
If you love golf like I do,
like what I do,
thank a golf course superintendent.
Thank a golf course superintendent.
do thank your golf course superintendent.
Thank a golf course superintendent.
A message from the Golf Course Superintendents Association of America.
Welcome back to Inside Golf from Lulu, and look who it is. It's Kevin Nicholson, who is new on the job because last time we saw you, Kevin, it was up at Makefield Highlands, and here you are at Lulu.
Yes, I'm very excited to be a part of the new team here at Lulu with John and Jeff, and just something that came along, and really looking forward to it. A little closer to home, and you know, this is one of the great golf courses, I think, in Philadelphia, so I'm very happy to be here.
Absolutely, and what makes it great, of course, first the tradition, Donald Ross, and has some spectacular holes here at Lulu that have stood the test of time. And I'm curious, from your point of view, first of all, there aren't that many golf courses that I know of that begin with a par 5 uphill.
No, you know, the first hole is one of those holes that, you know, it's 490 yards, which by, you know, today's standards is probably just a long par 4. But here, because it is uphill, it's a very deceptive hole. You know, you have to hit the tee shot uphill, and then your second shot, you know, for me, it's 195, 200 to the hole, but it might play 210 to 215 just because of the uphill. You have bunkers to carry about 30, 40 yards short of the green, so it's a very deceptive hole. It's yardage-wise, easy hole, but it can jump up and bite you to begin the day.
Yeah, to begin the day, and then you say, oh boy, we got 17 more. Another one of my favorite holes on the front nine here at Lulu is number 7. It's a real, I think, typical Donald Ross design. You got a little bit of everything. You got length, you got slope, you got a dog leg, and the slope that I'm talking about goes left to right. So, you know, if you're hitting it up the left side, or that's probably where you have to hit it in order to get a fairway lie for your approach shot.
Right, it's a typical Ross in the fact that, again, length, you go down and then back up to not a plateaued green, but your second shot does play uphill. The green is very sloped. Those greens are demanding, and 7 is probably the most demanding green on this golf course, because if you hit it above the hole, you're in trouble. You might want to set the flag down behind the pin.
Make sure the ball stays
Absolutely,
there, huh?
Absolutely.
All right, so then you come back the other side of Limekiln Pike on the back nine, and 2 of my favorites are number 16 and then the closing hole, number 18. What do you say we get up close and personal, go out to number 16, because it's not the longest hole by far out here, but boy, you know, a 4 there may be a really good score sometimes.
4 would be a great score on that hole, so let's go out and take a look at it.
Well, we have landed here on the tee at number 16. From the back tees, plays about 330 yards. And as we look ahead here, Kevin, it's a blind shot off the tee box, right?
It's a very blind tee shot. You go out about 220 yards, and it really slopes downhill to arguably one of the smallest greens out here.
You're really hitting a downhill approach with a wedge, 9-iron or less, into that small green.
You're right, Harry. It's a very, very difficult shot. It's length, again, it's not a very long hole, but it's very, very deceptive in the fact that, you know, you can hit a great tee shot, but then your work's really cut out for you on your second. Again, it's, you know, it's risk reward.
Right.
You know, back then, I don't think that's what Mr. Ross was looking at when he designed this hole, but it's turned out to be a very good risk-reward hole.
He didn't know that Kevin Nicholsons of the world were going to be hitting a three wood into this.
Exactly.
Into this
exactly.
hole. Well, Kevin, that pin today is all the way in the back. That's probably the most favorable position on this green, because as you move up here and see where we are, I've played here before where the pin is like maybe 6 paces in. You got the bunker. You're coming down that slope with maybe a little wedge, and boy, is it tough You talk about just hitting it right, or else you're either in the bunker or you're over.
It's tough sledding. I mean, again, this is the most accessible pin back here. But again, you don't want to hit it over the green because then you really have a downslope and really hard because again, the nature of a Ross course with the sloped green. So again, discretion being the better part of valor, especially if the pin's up front. Give yourself a little bit more room. You hit it to 20, 25 feet on this hole, you're actually doing pretty well.
Well, Kevin, let's say we get in a car, take a ride over to my other favorite par 4 here on the back nine, the finishing hole, number 18 at Lulu. Kevin, this, well, how would you describe it? I mean, it's got length. Obviously, you got the out of bounds on the right side, you got trees on the left side.
This is, I honestly think, one of the more underrated finishing holes in Philadelphia. It's, again, it's a typical Ross. You go down off the tee and then second shot up to a very, very steeply sloped green from back to front. Again, when Mr. Ross designed the golf course, I don't think he had Limekiln Pike in mind out of bounds right. But again, that adds a little bit to the hardness of this tee shot because you can try to bail out left, but you have the pine trees and the other trees there on the left, and then obviously right, you run into the out of bounds. So, distance and accuracy is a premium on this tee shot.
Right, you got a straightaway shot. Those bunkers, they're really not greenside bunkers. There's about how much yardage from the front of that bunker all the way to the green?
The one right in the middle of the fairway there is about 60 to 70 yards short of the green, short of the front of the green, and then the one on the left there is about 30 yards short of the green. But if you get in there, and I've actually been in there a couple of times after having to chip out from hitting a bad tee shot, that is, again, the 60, 70 yard bunker shot's probably one of the hardest shots in the game of golf, and especially with this green slope the way that it is, it's a very difficult shot, so you want to try to avoid those.
All right, it's your honors here.
Okay, thank you.
Show us how you're going to play number 18
All
at Lulu.
right.
Well, we've seen Kevin's game. I know he can bomb it off the tee. This is a piece of cake, folks.
All right,
Kevin
here we go.
Nicholson. A little right, is it coming back?
Right in the middle of the fairway.
My goodness. Limekiln what? He doesn't care. All right, Kevin, you've nailed it. Like we said, right in the middle of the fairway here, about what, 275 off the tee, a little more?
A little bit.
So that leaves you with what?
I have 122 to the flag, and again, the pin is up front. Normally, when the pin's in the back portion of this green, and it really slopes from back to front, but it slopes from back right to the front left here. So anything, if I'm going to I have a lot of room right, so if I'm going to miss it, right's going to be the where to go. Anything short and left isn't all that bad though, because again, you're going to go right back up the hill.
Yeah, you don't want to be putting downhill
No,
here.
not on this hole.
All right, let's get it close.
Okay, we're going to try here.
Let's get
We're going to try here.
Little birdie for you to finish
Okay.
up here on 18.
All right. Again, it's 122. It's up the hill.
Little wind in your face?
Wind's coming a little bit into me from the right, so probably playing more like 130, 135.
Good. Stiff it.
We're going to try.
That might go in.
Looks pretty good.
Well, the only bad thing about it, you're putting downhill. But you know what? I wouldn't mind that situation.
No, that's, again, this is the problem when that pin's up front, because again, you want to get it on the green. You want to give yourself a chance to make birdie. The problem is you get a little bit too rambunctious, you get past that hole, and you could have some issues. So let's go up and see if we can make this thing.
Nothing you can't handle.
We'll try.
Well, you got yourself, about 16 feet down that hill?
16 to 20 feet. This is probably, I'd say, one of the 3 or 4 fastest putts on the golf course.
Okay.
So it should break a little bit towards you. So
you're going to put it somewhere maybe out in that
probably
area?
somewhere out in there, yeah, and just kind of let gravity take its course here. So
all right.
Let's see what we can do.
Get some of that morning dew to slow it down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good speed. Come on, where's
Turn
the brake?
a little, turn
where's
a little.
the brake?
Actually kind of went back toward the left a little bit.
So maybe that's a little straighter than we thought.
A little straighter than you think, but again, when you're above this flagstick, it's just so very difficult to get it close to the hole. So when you get an opportunity like this and you got to tap in for 4 to finish your day, We'll make the yeah, and I'll make the beverage at the 19th hole
little room service for
a little
you.
better. Well, thanks, Harry.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks,
my man.
Harry. Good seeing you.
Good seeing you. Stay with us. More to come. Our teed off panel is getting ready to go long. That's next right here on Inside Golf.
He doesn't hit it as far as some of these guys.
Right.
At Valley Forge Casino Resort, we're rolling out the action and bringing it all to the table. So go all in at Philly's premier entertainment destination. Now on sale. Peter Cetera, October 11th. Artie Lang, November 28th. Kenny Rogers, December 18th. Valley Forge Casino Resort, the only Philly area casino that has it all.
Welcome back to Inside Golf. It's time for our teed off panel. We're here at the beautiful Valley Forge Casino Resort in King of Prussia with Bob Shepard. No stranger at all. I don't know how many years. It seems like forever. Bob has joined us here on Teed Off. Good to see you again, Shep.
Good to see you, Harry. Always a pleasure. We have a lot of fun together.
A lot of fun. And speaking of fun, he's just a belly full of fun. Joe Logan, myphillygolf.com.
Yeah.
Notice the, where'd that come, Montana?
Montana, yeah. I didn't start out to grow a beard. I just didn't shave.
Well, you weren't playing golf.
I didn't take my gloves.
So you had all day to shave and you still didn't do it. Okay.
Yeah, well.
Hiking, no good. No good golf in Montana?
I passed one golf course. I was out there for a week and passed one golf course the whole time I was there.
You probably saw more elk than you did
I did see elk. Elk, buffalo, and bears.
Are we getting off the point here a little bit? Let's get back to golf. What a year Jordan Spieth had in PGA golf. I mean, there for a while, it looked like he was going to go for the Grand Slam, and won the first two out of the gate, the majors, and nearly won the other two, except for a couple shots here and there. And he, by far, runaway winner with the Player of the Year.
Yes, toward the end of the year, Jason Day had a really good stretch, and there was some talk that maybe he would sneak out and snatch it right out from under Jordan Spieth's nose. But Jordan winning the FedEx Cup, Tour Championship and the FedEx Cup, I think pretty much did it.
Solved the issue, yeah.
That FedEx Cup Championship, that's $10 million, Bob, on top of his $12 million in earnings, okay? $12 million, $22 million, he's 22 years old, not bad.
Right.
I did a little history, and you may know the answer or come close to this. What do you think Arnold Palmer, in his lifetime as a competitive pro, 1955 till I think his last event was 2011. So that's roughly 56 years of competitive golf by the king. What do you think he earned internationally?
I can't even imagine. What, $2 million?
Well, $2 million on just the PGA Tour.
Well, okay, yeah.
Okay,
yeah, right.
Then the senior, and then some international.
Okay.
How about 6.9?
Isn't that something? Oh my God.
As opposed to 22 million for Jordan Spieth in one. That tells you how the game has grown a little bit.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
It's amazing.
6.9 is a decent year now for some people.
That's right. That probably may get you top 10.
Right.
In finishes, but yeah, imagine that, 6.9.
And the other thing is too, if you look back in the rearview mirror, you could almost envision him winning straight through the entire year, because his next move was to handle all the endorsements. He had to get on the TV shows, throw the pitch at the stadium, and it was all distraction.
Buy a house and another house.
Another house. He's got all these things going on, and that is a hard part of just existing out there. Forget winning. Now, when you have that many jets picking you up and taking you, there was one tournament he finished, he ran up and got in a cab. He had to go make a speech at the Emmy Awards or something. I mean, that's not the way he won the Masters,
right?
Acting like that.
Well, that's the lifestyle it is now for a guy that wins like he does. Any chinks in the Jordan Spieth armor, do you think, down the road? What could possibly go wrong beside injury?
Well, you know, I can remember sitting around saying the same thing about what could possibly go wrong with Tiger Woods.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
But
how'd that work out?
How'd that work? Right. I mean, Jordan Spieth, the only rap on his game is he doesn't hit it as far as some of these guys.
Right. Yeah.
But he hits it far enough. He putts like a demon. He's got a good head, a great iron player. I don't see anything
I don't. What can go wrong? And he's a gentleman. He's got life figured out pretty good for 22 years old.
He's a family-centered guy.
And his parents are from Bethlehem, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
You know.
The other thing about Jordan is he always seems to be very inclusive when it comes to talking about the success he has is shared with his caddy.
Right.
He calls it his team.
Yeah.
His swing coach, I'm sure his manager, and maybe mother, father, sister, brother. He's always want to bring out the fact that it's not just one guy doing all this.
Right.
And he wants to try to keep that team together going on from here. Which, as we know, that's another thing that we saw with Tiger, even aside from the injuries, the changes from Butch Harmon to Hank Haney to ba-boom, ba-bang.
Family, everything, yeah.
And when the injuries started to pile up, those changes became more frequent.
Yep.
And even a caddy.
Plus, when he started as a kid, he built himself up evidently with weights and all this different stuff. I remember Byron Nelson saying he's not going to be able to play as a senior because his body will fall apart. You can't be doing that. And then when I saw McElroy start fooling around with the weights, I said, you know what? Somebody ought to tap him on the shoulder and say, you see that kid in the red shirt over there? You better pay attention. You're going to end up not being able to play.
That's why I try to maintain a swimmer's spot.
You go well in a hot tub, Joe, more than a pool maybe, right? Well, we'll see, but congratulations. Hats off, visors off, whatever, to Jordan Spieth for a fantastic year in 2015. For Bob Shepard, Joe Logan, I'm Harry Donahue, and Inside Golf continues with more in just a moment. The Valley Forge Casino Resort is the region's only full amenity gaming resort, and it's only seconds from the Pennsylvania Turnpike at King of Prussia. It features 600 slots, 50 table games, and there are nearly 500 guest rooms, plus 8 restaurants designed to meet all of your dining needs. So put the beautiful Valley Forge Casino Resort on your destination list.
Along with being stewards of the game of golf, your local PGA professional wears many hats.
We are teachers.
We are players.
We are managers.
We are merchandisers.
And community leaders.
But we all wear one badge.
PGA professionals are well-trained experts who work hard to share the joy of golf with our neighbors for over 90 years. To find your local PGA professional, visit phillypga.com. Brought to you by the Philadelphia section of the PGA.
We are the experts in the game and business of golf.
That's going to do it for this week's edition of Inside Golf. And, we come back here and take a look, John, at the plans now and moving forward. We knew we were going to be back at Lulu in the spring. We'll still come back in the spring.
You'll
See
come
how
back.
you've done so far. Yep. And then, of course, onward to that new clubhouse maybe in another year and a half.
Well, we'll see you, and I want to thank you for your support, and I want to thank everybody else for their support. It's been awesome. So thank you very much, Harry. I appreciate it.
Good luck. Okay, Jon Rusk here at Lulu Country Club. And that's going to do it for this week's edition of Inside Golf. Remember, this is good advice for you too. No matter how bad it's going for you out there, don't pick up and don't give up like the folks here at Lulu. See you next time on Inside Golf. Inside Golf, presented by PGN Plus. Play your golf bucket list. By Jersey Man Magazine, it's a Jersey way of life, and Philly Man Magazine, bringing it to Broad Street. And by the Philadelphia section PGA, experts in the game and business of golf.